Welcome to FootballGamePlan.com, where football makes sense. It's Tyler Merkovich in studio with the Zardo Playbook, Emory Hunt, and he's going to bring his top 10 wide receiver prospects in college football this year. Looking ahead to next year's draft. Let's start out with number 10. Who rounds it out?
Duval Kumara, wide receiver, Notre Dame. He's 6'5", 200 pounds. Can play good deep. Can play the deep ball well. He's really good with the deep ball. And always bailed out Jimmy Clausen last season. But his skill set is awesome. He's a real good player. He knows how to use his body as far as like body position. He plays basketball when the ball's in the air. I like that about his game.
Number 9.
Number 9, I'm gonna go with Jacoby Ford, wide receiver, Clemson. Here's a guy that is blazing fast. Him and Spiller they run track at Clemson. But this guy here is a phenomenal athlete. Look for him to get more passes this season as he's going to be a starter. I like Jacoby Ford. He reminds me a lot of Santana Moss.
The skills are there. It's the athletic talent is there. Let's see if he can improve his route running and hands. Sky's the limit for that guy. Number 8.
Well, you look at Mike Williams. He's a bit of a sleeper. 6'2", 204 guy out of Syracuse. Syracuse is struggling right now, but Mike Williams is a phenomenal player. Catches the balls with his hands, and that's the most important element of a wide receiver. This guy is a phenomenal athlete, and if Syracuse is gonna win, it's gonna be through Mike Williams, and I like his game. He will be a sleeper prospect coming into the NFL draft.
Well, they've had no productive quarterbacks, which he's still raising his stock. So let's see if Greg Paulus can try to help this guy raise his stock this year. Number 7.
Number 7 on my list, I'm going to go with Mardy Gilyard at Cincinnati. Here's a guy 6 feet, 180. Kind of reminds me of Isaac Bruce when he was coming out of Memphis. This is a guy with real good speed, catches every pass thrown his way. Another one of those type of prospects like last year from Rice, Jared Dillard. That's how I compare Mardy Gilyard to. I like his game. He's going to do well for the Bearcats this season. Look for him to shoot up his stock this year in the draft.
Well, he won't have too much attention on his team because Vital Hazleton, USC, and Marcus Barnett's back, and another JUCO transfer, Jamar Howard. So that receiving set is filthy. Number 6. You're going west from Cincinnati.
Well, I'm going to go with Golden Tate. He showed me something from Notre Dame. Golden Tate showed me a little bit last season in the bowl game. I wasn't high on Golden Tate. He dropped too many catchable passes. But here's a guy, you look at him, he always does catch the deep ball. He reminds me a lot of somebody like Lee Evans as far as like the way he judges a deep ball. So he's a real big playmaker for Notre Dame. He's 5'11", 200 pounds. So good stocky build, physical guy, and he can run after the catch, which is a key asset.
Great body control, which helps out when you're physical,
right,
big, like you said. And your top 5.
Eric Decker, University of Minnesota. Here's a guy that's 6'2", 215, catches everything with his hands. One thing that's his unique asset is his leaping ability. He can jump up at his highest point and grab the football out the air. A lot of young receivers don't do that these days, but that's a key element that he brings to his game. He's a real good player for the Golden Gophers.
Came onto the college football landscape last year, and now you're top 4.
Top 5. Number 5 on my list, I'm going to go with, top 4, I'm sorry. It's early, guys. We're watching film and everything. Number 4 on my list, I'm going with Jordan Shipley, University of Texas receiver. This guy has speed, quickness, excellent route running. I love his route running, and he catches everything with his hands, and he shows up at the most opportune times to make plays. When Texas needs to play in the passing game, you go to Jordan Shipley. His game translates to the NFL, 6 feet, 190, a good player, loves football, and he understands angles and understands the game.
He's doing it on special teams too. His speed and his smarts, as his dad, I believe, was a football coach, and he's good friends with Colt McCoy, so he is a very cerebral athlete. Now your top 3.
Top 3, Dezmon Briscoe, Kansas, University of Kansas. Big guy, 6'3", 200 pounds, catches with his hands, and sneaky speed. He's a long strider, but he can make plays kind of like in the Rod Smith mold. He may not look pretty, but he gets the job done. But he is a productive player, and he is a real good receiver.
Part of another good unit with Kerry Meyer and Jonathan Wilson. Also, that is a great wide receiving core for Kansas. And now your top 2.
Top 2 is a real easy pick. Number 2, I'm going to go with Dez Bryant, Oklahoma State receiver. This guy is a man. He's physical, presence, 6'2", 215, good speed, He can run after the catch. He's a real dynamite player. He also can return punts if you need him to, and catches everything with his hands. Hands are unquestioned. Maybe one of the best set of hands in the draft.
And number 1,
Arrelious Benn. This guy is a phenomenal player. From the day he stepped foot on campus, was a playmaker. Think Terrell Owens with better hands. That's what I like to compare Arrelious Benn to. Real speed. He's a hungry player. He wants to win. He wants to get better. Good blocker down the field. Runs good routes. If anything he had to improve on, he has to improve on, I would say, his he has to calm down a little bit as far as like maybe a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too anxious, and they cause some mental lapses in his game. But if he was on any other team, this guy would be a Heisman candidate. He really is a real good player. One of these receivers that you wouldn't mind taking high in your draft. Is a dynamite playmaker.
And give me a player out of your top 10, but whose stock will be rising once draft time comes around.
I'm gonna go out to USC. I'm gonna go with Damian Johnson. Damian Williams. Damian Williams. If the quarterback situation out there, they have the freshman Barkley, and they have Matt Barkley, then they have Aaron Corp out there as well too. If they can settle on that quarterback position, that guy's a phenomenal playmaker. 5'11", 195, can really play the game, and he's transferred from Arkansas, so he's a real good player.
Watch out, he's my breakout player in the Pac-10. He's really going to make a name for himself. That's Emory Hunt, the Zarda Playbook. I'm Tyler Merkovich. For more draft previews for next year's draft, visit footballgameplan.com/draft.